I think the best fight in Jujutsu Kaisen is in the Culling games. That fight is Megumi Fushiguro versus Reggie Star. I don't expect many people to have this as their number one fight, because Megumi and Reggie have no personal connection. They're complete strangers, so there isn't any anticipation for the fight. Furthermore, the fight isn't filled with dopamine that can get anyone hyped, but what it does have is substance and strategy. In this video, I'll be explaining why it's so good. The two met in 167. Megumi briefly fights an extra opponent before Reggie stabs his divine dog in the mouth. Remember this. In 168, he continued to fight Reggie and his lackeys, even killing one. In 169, the two finally faced off for a 1v1 that goes from 170 to 172. The first reason this fight is so elite is due to the power of versatility. Reggie is the star of this section. His ability allows him to summon the effects of receipts by burning them with his cursed energy. In just 3 chapters, he summoned a net, knives, a spa treatment to heal himself, drones, a motorcycle, freight trucks, pots, knives hidden inside vegetables, cars, and a house. This power is a JoJo type ability. Alone, it can't do any damage, so it requires the user to get creative in order to deal damage with it. Megumi has his 10 shadows, and each of the shadows come with strengths and weaknesses. In this fight, he used the elephant, rabbits, nue, frogs, and dog. Megumi is able to store things in his shadow, like knives, but he also has his domain expansion, which allows him to summon shadow clones. The second reason this fight is elite is due to the battle IQ displayed. There are 2 types of battle IQ in a story like JJK. The first is universal strategy. This is the type of strategy that could be used in any other story. But then the story-specific strategy, which is one that makes use of the unique rules in Jujutsu sorcery. Let's start with the universal strategies. Megumi begins the battle with a pincer attack. He uses Max Elephant on one side and uses himself and the rabbits on the other side. This was countered by Reggie's nets. Reggie fires knives as projectiles with his tech, and Megumi deflects them. Since the two had been fighting earlier, Reggie takes time to heal his wounds. Because Megumi can't heal, he decides to run away with his flying Shikigami. Reggie tracks him with the drones and chases him with a motorcycle. Megumi goes to a gymnasium, which will be important. While Reggie is upstairs, diverting his opponent's attention, his summoned trucks crash through the walls to hit Megumi. Then from upstairs, he drops flower pots on Megumi's head before chopping him up with his knife. Then he throws a daikon at him, but a knife is hidden in it, damaging his opponent some more. Chapter 170 ends with Megumi using the gym as a base for his incomplete domain, Chimera Shadow Garden. In 171, after using his domain, Megumi uses the frogs to hold Reggie in place while his shadow clones wail on him. Reggie counters by summoning knives to cut the frog tongues, but the clones continue to mop the floor with him. Reggie throws more receipts, and Megumi tries to counter by getting Nue to attack them, but it's too late. There's also verbal deception throughout the fight. In 170, Reggie pointed out that Megumi can't use his injured Shikigami, like the dog he injured earlier. Megumi doesn't deny this so that Reggie can think his dog is out of the picture. Reggie also said that they both didn't have big attacks, to which Megumi agreed. This was a lie on both sides, because Reggie could summon the giant trucks and the house, while Megumi had a domain expansion. Both surprised the opponent due to the lie here. All of the line goes well with Reggie's quote about sorcerers being con artists, which is a motif of this fight. Third is story-specific strategies. A unique rule in Reggie's ability is that he can summon his items with a command, like fly, but they disappear after carrying it out. He did this in 170 when he shot the knives. For domains, Megumi reveals that it's difficult to create a domain in a space of a different size, which is why he used the gym to create his garden. When Reggie sees the domain, he immediately counters with a version of simple domain, which is a natural counter to domains. They neutralize the sure hit effect. But because Megumi's domain is incomplete, it doesn't have a sure hit, which we already knew from season 1. All the garden does is extend 10 shadows and put it at 120%. Reggie turns the garden against its user by understanding its rules. Megumi's shadow storing ability only allowed him to keep 1 cursed tool. This meant that Megumi could only store things in his shadow that he could physically carry. Anything in his shadow weighs down on him. Reggie took advantage of this rule by summoning cars into the garden, which then weighed down on Megumi. Megumi countered by copying his opponent's strategy and taking advantage of the fact that his shadows also cover the ceiling. This allowed him to drop the elephant on top of Reggie, putting the two in a battle of endurance as they both got crushed under weights. After considering 2 possibilities, Reggie tried to win the weight battle by summoning his ace to add weight onto Megumi, but this actually fails and he falls underwater before completing it. However, he escapes drowning by giving a command to one of the cars to bring him back up. As I said before, his items only disappear after he gives them a command. He didn't give a command to the cars summoned earlier, allowing them to save him. When he gets back to the surface, he drops his ace, a giant house to kill Megumi. Fushiguro counters by undoing his domain. The house breaks the floor, dropping them into the pool as Megumi tries to strangle Star underwater. This also drenched all of the receipts, preventing him from using his tech again. In 172, after the domain was dispelled, the two went into a brief close quarters exchange. Fushiguro bluffed about being out of Shikigami, but Star caught on to that. While they fought, Reggie tried to predict what Shikigami would be summoned, but rolled out the dog because he believed he already injured it too much for it to return. This allowed him to be surprised by the dog's lethal attack when it returned. Megumi reveals that the dog was never damaged enough to be out of rotation, meaning that he's been keeping it active and hidden the entire time. The final reason this fight is amazing is because this is a chess match. If you didn't notice yet, nearly every single move these players make is like a chess move. This isn't just characters punching and kicking and landing cool combos. It isn't just characters spamming their signature moves. It's back-to-back carefully calculated attacks that are either designed to gain the advantage or end the fight. Almost every attack stems from the creative use of their abilities. The versatility and diverse range of attacks and strategies they use makes this fight so high IQ. There are barely any CQC exchanges in the fight, and when they appear, they are short-lived. This fight lasts 3 chapters, yet is packed with tactics. It reminds me of highly tactical chess matches from other stories like Josuke vs Kira or Sasuke vs Danzo. In conclusion, the strong suits of this fight are its versatile powers from both combatants, its universal strategies, which show an understanding of battle, its story-specific tactics, which show an understanding of the power system, and its chess style of battle, which shows a high level of efficiency. I truly don't believe there is another fight in JJK that has all of these qualities. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.